Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Nordic Championship here at the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios. I'm Hit Brain, Who's Orcs, and words didn't even.
Got on in the end.
We're on to game 3 of the day. It's going to be Vipers taking on Nordavind. How I feel about this one? Vipers, they were unable to beat Team Singularity, but they are still second seed, and they are crushing it so far.
Yeah, they've been looking really good this split. There's a lot of positives to say about this team. However, there have been games, the 2 losses, where it's kind of come down to an individual member underperforming. Obviously, there's more to it than that, but their first loss up against Bifrost, it was really hidden in the jungle. It would have been better if he wasn't playing, because he just had a negative effect.
Well, he should have just stayed hidden in the jungle.
Yeah, exactly. He had a negative effect on the game, really giving over a ton of gold and just getting picked off. And then the game up against Singularity, Devoxney burns his flash level 1 with a fail flash, and then he just got butchered from then on out and was really in a bad spot. And I feel like other than those, you can only really call them blunders, like people having really bad games, they've looked like a consistent force, particularly when they kite backwards and use Devoxney as a backline force. Poulsen has been consistently solid. Lundorf often playing really well as a weak side player, but you saw him up against Quinstance on the gangplank being a monster. I think this team's formidable, and as long as they don't drop the ball, they look good. I think on the other side of the Nordavind, they're on the upswing. They definitely had a rough start to the split, but they've started to look a lot better, more like the team we expected to see.
Yeah, because we did favor them as being one of these top teams.
Everyone did.
Coming in here and, currently sitting at 2-4 in the standings. They are having a rough go of it, but, if they can beat out a team like Vipers, then they are going to put their statement down on, they are still a team to be contested. They are still one of the best teams. Beating out second seed, it's a start. It's not. It doesn't get you there, but it's a start. And if Vipers can beat out the potential favorites, that's also a statement from them. So this is very much like a game about putting yourself forward as an organization, as a team here in the Nordic Championship.
I think as well it's the timing. As this is the last game of the first round robin, each team will then face every other roster one more time. And this is a chance for Nordavind. If they beat out Vipers, they can gain a lot of confidence from that, beating the team who are close to the top of the table. And then that second round robin, they can just hunt everyone down, get to a playoff spot, and then start performing. I think a large part is going to come down in this draft, though. We've seen the issues that plagued Nordavind. Often they'd put Nitro on a champion who had to win mid early. Yeah. Aesthetic on a jungler, which is often reliant on his mid laner being ahead. Their composition last week, which functioned so well, had a great amount of scaling afforded to it, but it still had a lot of early pressure. And it was just, easy to execute. Niter, he didn't have to stomp mid lane to be relevant. He was playing Ryze. Waze on the gangplank, force to be reckoned with, and then Crispig and Advian on some pretty solid champs. I think it was the Misfortune and Leona. It just seemed really standard, really all-round consistent, and I feel like they're better sticking to that than these compositions that they've initially started trying, which were very much hard to play, I think that was the way I put it.
All right, well, picks and bans have been rattling through here. We have the Gragas, the Soroka, thank God, the Jarvan, the Skarner, the Syndra, and the Nunu all banned away. So what does this leave open to Vipers? What are they wanting the first pick here?
So I feel like the Ornn could be a potential first pick in this situation if you want to give pressure prior to that over to Lundorf. It would essentially leave you could go for the Varus Braum rotation, to sort of deny the Ornn engage. Something they have done before. They like to lean on Lundorf in that regard. It is a pick he's very big on. But I'd say one thing is that if you leave hidden until the second rotation, might be a little bit difficult because there have been a lot of bans towards him. But he has shown he can reach, he can stretch his champion pool. Potentially you could see a Zac, if we're talking about stretching. Elise is another one he commonly picks up, but Nordavind potentially toying with the idea of that one. So that would deny a lot away from hidden's pool. And so far, Nordavind picking up this Thresh and this Elise. It means the Braum isn't on the cards to block out the Ornn, so you don't have to pick that up yourself. But it potentially puts in a situation where Nordavind, they pick 2 champions that can be very aggressive. They're great at making picks, they're great at making skirmishes because of their CC, but they don't scale nearly as well as the Ornn that's already been picked up. And now he's asking where Vipers want to go the rest of their sort of draft.
It's like they're looking towards Hidden here, but they decide to get Devoxney onto something we know he likes to perform on.
Hidden hasn't shown a tendency to lean towards the Lee Sin at all. Yeah. It'd be surprising if he did that now. I like the Aphelios for Devoxney. He's really strong on it, allows him to kite backwards. Question is, are they going to follow up with the Tom Kench here? Because huge CC coming out from Nordavind already in terms of the Cocoon and the Thresh. the Cocoon and the Hook from Thresh. Both single target, though. Easily countered by the Tahm Kench. And we've seen it have a lot of success going together with the Aphelios, but instead, they go in a different direction. We're talking about stretching pools. This is the Karthus in tandem with the Ornn, and what you can potentially do is you can put the Ornn mid lane, he can permanently contest the priority, and it makes it very hard to punish the Karthus. And we'll have to see if that's how it pans out. They could just end up putting the Ornn top lane, but either way, this is a ton of scaling already in Viper's pocket. So Nordavind, they have to be aggressive in this game, otherwise they're going to fall behind.
But now what we're looking towards in the second phase of the bans here is Nordavind, they've got their MF, they've got their Fresh, they've got their Release. They want to play this early kind of power, if possible, into kind of a more skirmishy kind of comp. They can now ban away from Hidden. Hidden's pool is going to get thinned even harder here. And, oh no, sorry, Hidden's going to pick the Karthus. What am I talking about? They're
Bebop Bully.
Bebop. That's the one. That's the one.
Braum
sorry.
comes out.
So
I think Tahm Kench is going to be the second ban. That's a no-brainer.
Yes, and the key thing is Bebop as a player likes to play these kind of more tanky peel supports. I think is the best way to kind of like tankier peely champions. It suits Dim Voxney's playstyle very well. He plays very well with someone who's able basically just to be his get out of jail card. And now those are going to get banned away. The Pantheon is going to get removed from Vipers, and you expect this to be the Tahm Kench from Nordavind.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Vipers are just trying to thin out these aggressive picks for Nordavind. They've already recognized that a lot of the aspects of their composition are going to fall off in comparison to Vipers. This is very much, we saw the sort of both teams looking at backline 5v5 and scale in the last game. This game is two teams looking at it from a very different perspective. Lucian actually the one going to get banned away.
Flex pick, I guess.
Yeah, potentially has that avenue as an option, but I feel like for Vipers, you could definitely just pick up that Tahm Kench, and it's easy to negate away Adrian and Aesthetics picks here on the back of that. The second ban potentially going to come through for Niter. LeBlanc is definitely a considerable option, or the Kiana as well, still open and available, and functions so well with the Elise. Might struggle to cut through the Braum, however, the Ornn, however, if that does go in the mid lane. But for now, I'm going to go for the Gangplank, something that would offer an aspect of scaling, and also the global pressure if the ultimate can contribute a lot. Question's going to be where Nordavind going to look right now. It's difficult because you don't know where the flex is going to be necessarily, and I think that's a big reason the Lucian got banned away, because if Wazor does blind here, you don't want to be facing up to that. It did potentially set up a Gangplank blind. For now, though, I feel like you just have to go for something. I mean, they're just going to go for the Kiana, likely in the mid lane. Gives them a ton of early pressure. Did say it was a possibility. It means that now Vipers have potential to answer that. They can put the Ornn up against it. Really hard for the Kiana ever to actually kill the Ornn. It depends what they want to do in this situation.
Well, they're taking a think about it. Are they going to run a different mid laner, or are they going to flex this Ornn here? Like you said, you like it because it basically means you don't ever lose mid prio. So it's harder to invade, and that's going to be the Renekton lock in here, so that's most likely going to go to the top lane. However, we could see the Renekton go mid versus the Kiana.
It's double flex, and it works well into the Kiana, going toe-to-toe with her. And the thing is, on top of that, they can even swap players. So even if we see Lundorf on the Ornn, he could still play Ornn in the mid lane. There's potential for that to happen. Looks like in the bot lane, not necessarily leaning towards that Tahm Kench to offer the safety. Potentially looking for more engaged potential to go even in those skirmishes.
Yeah, going to lock in the Tahm Kench as they flip it back on the last second here.
I like it. I think it's a safer option.
Yeah.
You already have engaged from the Ornn. You have a great front line between the Ornn and the Renekton, and the Karthus functions as that as well as he pushes forward, makes that zone of control. I think the Tahm is a strong option to keep you safe, and the Mordecai as the top lane makes complete sense. It's actually pretty effective against Tahm Kench, because obviously you can ult him.
Yeah.
And then he comes in the Death Realm, and Voxney gets dropped out. Also does pretty well up against Renekton, as long as you keep him at bay. Shield can get popped though. That's a big thing on the back of the stun. So Lundorf definitely can find advantages here. But we do see the Ornn good in the mid lane. So what I like to see, I think the Ornn Karthus combo really powerful. Both of them scale extremely well, but because you have that mid priority afforded by an Ornn, it means that Hidden isn't as threatened in the jungle. He's not going to get invaded. And this matchup in terms of compositions, by all means, is Nordavind want to win early. Vipers want to survive the pressure, but it's not like they haven't given themselves any tools to go toe-to-toe. As soon as the level 6s are available, that mid-jungle combo extremely strong. Renekton in the top lane, a force to be reckoned with, and I think that's what they've tried to do by sort of add some flexibility to their composition. They haven't just picked, oh, we're going to scale and do nothing for 30 minutes and hope that we win. They have tools they can use, and that's what makes it difficult. Nordavind, we saw them find success when they went for ease of execution. They do not have that right now. They have windows in which they need to perform, and we're going to be looking towards that. So Nordavind need to show that they're playing at a consistent level, that they're able to find those windows and take advantages from them, and this can be a big test for them. If they perform here, I think we can safely say this is the Nordavind we expected, but if they fall on their face, then still a lot to be worked on.
And remember, they are going up versus the second seed here.
Second team, yeah.
This is Vipers, a team who, you know, maybe we underestimated a little bit coming into the season. Looking really, really good. You've obviously got Hidden and Denvox. They were off in the UK scene for summer last season. Coming over here to the Nordics on a grand return. And Denvoxney is actually tearing it up so far. He's really, really impressed me. Didn't really kind of hit that mark in the UK when he was playing in the UKLC. Like, he was playing well, but he definitely didn't hit that mark. But coming into here, he's also doing just some incredible work here. But he is versus Chris Berg, a player who we know as well as somebody who also puts games on their back.
I think a big thing is the compositions that have been afforded to Voxney. Like, he loves it when he's able to just be on the back line. He has his front line in front of him. He's able to kite backwards and just deal with threats as they come to him. Really good in that regard. There's a lot of threats on the side of Nordavind, I will say, but having the Tom Kench, especially I like to see Bebop Bully go on the cleanse, it's a massive asset in this situation. Now, bot lane, you're not going to have a ton of pressure because of the fact that Misfortune, really strong laning prowess, and then Thresh as well. Even if you can't necessarily go for that hook because it'll be eaten up by Bebop Bully, you can still harass with your auto attacks and flay. And essentially what it's going to mean is that I want to see Hidden playing more around the top side. That first scuttle on the top side, I think you can contest because you have Poulsen on this Ornn able to push out. You have the Renekton in the top side. If he's able to bounce the wave when he hits level 3, he'll be in a comfortable spot. So I would like to see Hidden start on the bot side, despite the fact it'll be away from his blue. I think it gives you the strong leash, and then you can path towards your safer side of the jungle. Whereas for Aesthetic, it's very much going to come down to where you want to gank. I would lean towards the bot side as a most part, because you have that great setup from Advian. But potentially you can just look to contest any lane. I think the difficulty is, though, mid lane is going to be very hard to kill. So you're looking at the outer sides, and by the fact you start on top side, likely going to be looking towards bot.
Alrighty, well, everybody takes to lane. Hidden gets his leash on the red side, so I actually haven't seen a blue side start come out.
Remember, this is on 10.3, so the changes to Bami Cinder, the Sunfire Cape haven't come through yet. So Ornn is still broken, but not that broken.
That is going to be... I haven't seen Ornn in any of my games.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
You know his win rate in solo queue was 52%?
It was.
And then after the Sunfire changes, it went to 57.
What were they thinking?
You know, when I first read the changes, I thought they were removing the old Sunfire passive and then adding this new one. And I was like, it doesn't look that good. And then I was like, wait, they just added it on top? The item was already pretty good, you know? It's
pretty stat now. Can I say that Aesthetic is looking for a invade, assuming that Hidden started red side? Hidden's cleared this side of the jungle completely. So they'll at least have the information that Hidden's on top side, but Aesthetic not going to get too much here. But now he's going to look and see if he can find a gank onto Poulsen in the mid lane. Poulsen fairly pushed up, but is also leaning towards where Hidden is. So spots them coming down, gets the steering charge off, and Aesthetic has just wasted a bit of time, really.
Yeah, and if you look where the wave is built up, because the cannon is on Nordavind's side, it means that Poulsen doesn't miss much. It's going to push into him. Now, a big thing is this actually gave up mid priority. That is the important takeaway. Advian roamed up to secure it, and this now means that Aesthetic can invade. He knows his mid lane is going to be able to back him up. Although he won't go for it, it does secure him that Scuttle Crab. So we talked about how we wanted to see Hidden path bot to top, go for that Scuttle. This is no longer possible because of that priority that was given up from that gank attempt. So good moves from Nordavind so far. It's the sort of thing you want to see. But ultimately, Hidden able to get off his full clear through his camps on his side of the jungle unscathed.
Yeah, he's going to go to base, get himself his amp tone in his boots, and head back over to try and grab up his Krugs. Now, they will be spawning up soon, and he'll be doing it on top of a ward. Den and Bebop pushing up very, very aggressively here. So they just escort this wave in, but Aesthetic sitting in the bush as First Blood goes down top side. Lundorf able to find that one. Now bot side, they're looking for the hook. The cleanser's already been used, and Den, he's trying to get that damage off to keep his support alive. Is Hidden will pull out the wall of pain. The Gravity's going to get used. The teleport is getting used. In comes Lundorf. He's looking for another kill. They've already found one. They've found two, and that's the third. Lundorf finds the kill.
Beautifully played. He baited Crispy again. He looked like he was backing away, and then he flash Q'd. It's actually Q flash to cancel the animation, and essentially Crispy didn't expect it and gets baited out and ends up dying without using the flash. It was a great turnaround. A little bit of an overcommit. It's very hard to take down Bebop Bully, who has that shield to give him the extra tankiness, but also, even though he only cleansed the first CC, it reduces the duration for all subsequent CC while that buff is still available. The Viper's just playing so well. Lundorf finding the solo kill. What an absolute monster. This is a guy who we saw play a lot of Ornn and lean on that champion. And then you had that matchup against Quinstance. The guy had been the split push king in the Nordics. And he just flattened him on the gangplank. And here again, up against Wazor, just putting on a school for top laners.
Playing so well right now. But that you got a 2-0 Renekton to deal with in the top lane.
And this is where it gets scary because Viper's winning scaling. And yet they're ahead. And they have this super strong Renekton who can essentially guide them through the early stages. This is not a good position to be in for Nordavind. And a large factor of it came off Wazor losing that 1v1. It allowed Lundorf to TP in. Wazor wasn't able to counter because he'd used his TP to get back to lane. And ultimately, Viper's finding a lot in that situation. Now, Aesthetic still trying to find out this Karthus in the jungle, but Hidden doing a good job of dodging him away.
Yeah, now he's actually just looking to see if he can make a play happen top
And
side.
he spotted him on a ward. He's going to put down the wall of pain to keep him away. Death Realm's come down, though.
Yeah, Lundorf's caught inside. It's going to be a 1 versus 1 on all fronts. Teleport's getting used. Lundorf buying time, gets the heal off. Wazor is going to get the hammer down, and now they actually cancelled out on that teleport there. Didn't see what happened, but Nita must have just stunned him up with a Q. The kill does go down, though, and that will be the end of Lundorf for now.
Yeah, Viper's trying to buy as much time as possible for their Renekton. The TP from Paulson cancelled by Nita. Obviously, use a Terraform to pick up the water element and then use the root. Little bit unfortunate there. You can see they try to do as much as they can, but ultimately very hard to evade this Elise Mordekaiser combo. And Lundorf dies, gives over the shutdown to Elise. Things not looking as bad for Nordavind right now.
Yeah, he's going to get himself another crab. He's actually had all 3 crabs. There's picks a ward up as well for his troubles. Meanwhile, bot lane, there's an 11 CS lead coming down now. Svetic, maybe seeing if he can find some kind of a gank.
Just gave up on the Scuttle Crab. Does
have 6. Yeah, he's going to go get it now.
Changed his mind. Deliberating.
Well, spiders and crabs are somewhat related, aren't they? They got lots of legs. Kind of ugly.
Are you related to them as well?
No, I only have 2 legs.
Oh, right, yeah. That's a distinction. Don't know how you put up with me, honestly.
I don't.
Hidden now, passing towards his bot side, going to play some more camps. All in all, Viper's looking great so far in this game. Despite the fact that shutdown came on Lundorf, still up in gold. Still in a comfortable position. Denvoxney, he's got a kill in his pocket. He's got that BF sword after the back and the Berserker Greaves. And now they have the priority advantage. Viper's actually opting to not prioritize this dragon at all. So often we see when the dragon goes down, teams swap towards the Herald. Viper's doing it even without the dragon being down. They're not bothered about it. And I think that if they do manage to pick up the Herald, it's denying a big accelerator for Nordavind. You can see Nordavind starting up that dragon already. If they get this Herald, or at least delay Nordavind from getting it sooner, it puts them in a position where something that teams love to use to take down towers, take down plates, wouldn't be possible. But for now, Nordavind will just take that dragon as a freebie.
Cool fact. Crabs are actually related to spiders. Denvoxney, he's getting caught in the death realm. He doesn't have time.
He has a chakram though. He just wins this.
So much damage. Bullet time's going to get used, and Den almost dies on the tail end there. Is going to get himself gobbled up, and Bebop's going to get run down. They do actually have the ultimate from Hidden. Hidden not going to pull the trigger, not going to go for the execution onto Wazor. He did heal up a fair amount there.
Yeah, a lot of regeneration, but I mean, you see the power of this champion, the Crescendum doing so much damage, even when up in the face of Mordecai. They've got to credit Voxney, though. He dodged away both of the abilities of Wazor in that situation. Could have been a very different situation if those had landed. Ultimately, Vipers holding it pretty well. But Nordavind, now they move towards the top side. They're looking to control this river. They want this Herald. It's already low on HP. It's what they need to do. They need to be setting the pace of the game, taking these neutral objectives.
Yeah, Den was poked way too low for them to contest it, so decided not to go for that. Does mean we'll see a rotation come down. Actually, no, they want to go up to the top side, make sure that this...
They want to defend this. Nordavind will get a couple of plates, but they can't get any more in this situation.
Well, Aesthetic's moving away, so actually won't get all the bonus resistances. In fact, Chrisberg's getting so low gold on this. Means he won't take the tower, but he should get himself about 3 plates. Nope, only 2.
I think the third one goes down.
Yep. He doesn't get the gold, though. He's out of range.
Either way, they get some plates down from that one. Then they're going to swap towards bot lane. Sooner objective is going to be that dragon, so they want to set up for it. But ultimately, good amount of gold funneled into their pockets, but they're still down overall. And Voxney up in CS compared to his counterpart. They're up in kills still. You can see 800 gold is the difference there. And still 700 in the top lane. Despite Nordavind making the aggressive plays, finding these avenues, still struggling in this early game, and this is where they need to be finding the momentum. Right now, this mid lane matchup, as we talked about, you really can't kill the Ornn. Very inactive. And considering Kiana's one of these champions that spikes hard at level 3, has great kill pressure at 6 as well, pretty demotivating to be able to do nothing up against this Ornn.
Yeah, Knight has taken the mobility boost as well. He's also found out Lundorf here. He's going to catch him in the death realm. The claw comes down. Meanwhile, a fight breaks up. Advian hooks a minion, and Poulsen does get ignited and falls. Meanwhile, Hidden now looking for Wizor. Will pick him up with one last Q, but the shield is enough. Hidden does have the Requiem, and once again, doesn't pull that trigger.
But he doesn't have mana.
Oh, man, that's sad. This has been multiple times where Hidden could get the kill.
I don't think he had mana for lay waste as well. I think that's why he stopped. He's not going to get dived in this situation.
He has no mana.
Yeah.
Lundorf gets ignited. Gonna try and heal up. The hook goes a little bit wide. Heal comes down and Hidden. Actually dying here. If he can tank this tower well enough, he might be able to get enough mana back that he can get a couple of kills as a result.
I mean, it's a passive. You have infinite mana in your passive,
yeah.
So...
Knight takes the tower shot. That is going to be the end of him. Bah.
Oh! Okay, he does 0 damage. I expected a lot more. I think maybe Dark Harvest being on cooldown was a big factor. Because
Chrisberg's
obviously used that on Wazor.
A lot of damage from Voxney.
I think with Dark Harvest, you got the kill there. But ultimately, not enough. Knight survives. And Nordavind finding success. They're still down in gold. Still at a massive CS discrepancy between AD carries. And you do not want this champion to be this far up in gold. Like, look at the items Chrisberg has as well. Look at his inventory. That is such a scuffed inventory to have as an AD carry. You want your BF sword, and all you have is the worst components of the Essence Reaver. Meanwhile, Voxney, he's just picked up the whole Essence Reaver.
Looking very, very strong here. Got a level up as well on Chrisberg. But now Knight has got this Moby boost. You are seeing him trying to make plays around the map. He's moving about. The moment locked into this mid lane. What's the deal with the wave here? He's going to let Poulsen get this, and then he'll go and push up the wave.
The team's trying to set up vision around this dragon. TP is available for both top laners. But the Requiem isn't. That's a critical thing here. They won't have that for this team fight. So I feel like Vipers, you don't need to contest this. You can stall them out. You can potentially look to pressure a lane when they're not looking. But I feel like a fight here could be dangerous.
Voxney hasn't got that Moonlight Vigil. Already used it for the Call of the Forge God. Going to land a knock up onto one. They're trying to block out Aesthetic for as long as possible here. Takes a Tongue Lash. A pop there, but he's not going to die. They force away the jungler and the flash from Aesthetic, but they don't want to contest the dragon. They don't want to scrap yet. They bought time. Feeling comfortable. Remember, Nita with that Supreme Display of Talent in a dragon pit. You'll be able to do some serious work. Bebop will slow him down with a Tongue Lash. Now it looks like Vipers They're on to this Infernal Drake. They want to get it.
Well, Ping's coming out. They look like they want to contest it. TP coming in. This is it.
It's picked up already. They're going to move away. Watch for Nita, though. Cocoon, Hook, everything goes wide. Moonlight Vigil will follow up as well.
Doesn't do that much damage because of the Repel coming out. Stop the AoE from chaining between targets. Ultimately, Vipers, they get the Dragon, they get out. They only use the flash from hidden. Do you take that? Absolutely. Again, we talked about the importance of picking up these Dragons early on if you're a scaling team composition, because it means there isn't a timer put in this game. If Nordavind start to find big momentum and start to pressure Vipers into fights, that's another Dragon they are away from their soul. Another one you don't necessarily have to contest. But honestly, for now,
Lundorf.
Vipers look fine contesting. Lundorf, though.
Nita has ultimate as well. Lundorf uses his, tries to dodge out for the moment, but he's against the wall. Repel's going to come up, Asphetic's going to go down. The stun is enough, and Nita might die here.
Oh,
Requiem is to follow. Doesn't even need it. The tower shot finishes him off.
Beautifully played from Lundorf. As soon as Nita grabbed the aggro again, Flashes gets a stun. The tower hits had already ramped up in damage from Aesthetic. That's why they did so much. And manages to trade 1-for-1. Lundorf on this Renekton. Yes, there were some rough moments when he started to get all those deaths, but mechanically he's looked on point.
He's been playing like a crocodile possessed right now. 1 versus 3 finds that kill. And all this is doing is just giving Den Voxney farming time. Look at the CS lead right now. He's 1-0-1. He's got that Essence Reaver. Going to go to base and pick himself up a pickaxe as well.
I mean, we have 15, nearly 16 minutes in the game, and Chrisberg is still yet to get a BF sword. His first 3 items, we've seen the Essence Reaver, Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster, they all build out of a BF sword, and you're still not picking one up. I think now he's recalling to grab one, but it's so late.
Yeah, he should be able to get it now, but maybe even the Essence Reaver at this point. Yeah,
Gets the whole thing.
Finally
doesn't
gets
even
the
buy
Essence
it.
Reaver.
Doesn't even buy a BF sword, ever. Just goes for the whole item, but either way, he has managed to pick that up, so not in as bad a spot as he was before, but still. Oh, Engage coming in.
Yeah, Call of Forge got onto Weiser. Will pick him up. They've caught him inside the death round, but Paulson, he's just tanky. He's just running Weiser through here. The Conqueror healing is quite a lot, though, as he comes out of the realm, and Hidden finally finds himself a kill. Doesn't have to use Requiem for that one.
Yeah, Exhausting Knight coming in clutch there. The Leandri's doing a lot of work to Paulson, who hasn't built any magic resistance yet. But ultimately, they take him down. The return trade is the Herald on the other side of the map. But Vipers happy just to pressure down this turret in the bot lane. And there isn't any waves in position for Nordavind to use that Herald right now. Top lane shoved in, mid lane, then Voxney and Bebop Bully are there, and then obviously bot lane is where they just got the kills. So the Herald, well, they picked it up. Not able to do anything with it right now, but you can see they're looking towards the top lane. Lundorf does dodge away this time from the Cocoon.
Yeah, Fedit misses out, so Lundorf not able to get much, and that's first turret blood given over to Vipers. They got it bot lane.
And critically in Hidden's pocket. He got all that gold to himself.
Woo!
Carthus definitely someone who scales extremely well with gold. Someone that comes to position.
Alrighty, well, we're 17 minutes in. Let's take a look at the game state here. It's 1,600 gold lead over to Vipers currently. Most of that gold lead is just sitting on Den Voxney.
Pretty sizable one on the top lane as well.
Yeah, pretty sizable top side as well. So that's probably the 2 people you don't want to get the gold lead, have the gold lead right now. And Nita,
You don't win this.
you really, really need to be scared here. Requiem is coming up shortly. Lundorf looks to jump in, chases after him, tries to get some damage down, doesn't finish up here, gets himself the Supreme Display of Talent, and now the CC is getting layered on. Lundorf pops the ultimate. Look at the healing. Doesn't go down. 1 versus 2, Lundorf once again. Just holding his own.
Looked a little bit scary when he suddenly got that heal out, but he isn't able to chase him down. The HP is not low enough for the Requiem to come in. Herald going to be thrown down top lane, and with no ult, I don't think Lundorf can really look to defend this one. He's going to have to give it up.
Yeah, he's going to step back, wait for it to get some damage off, and now he's going to move away for the moment. His team are playing for priority for that Cloud Drake. Even the 1 Cloud Drake for Karthus is nice. He's a champion who actually appreciates that Cloud Drake.
Yeah, Cloud Soul for Karthus, it's just sacking the Cloud Dragons are huge. But Cloud Soul in general for, the likes of Lundorf is big. The rest of them, not so, I mean, Paulson's pretty nice. It gives you the movement speed once you first cast it.
Yeah.
The Voxney is good for kiting. But
Bebop, he delivers in, has home guards. It's like
yeah,
teleporting him a home guard.
this is the worst Cloud Soul. Like, Cloud Dragons. Engage from
Oh boy, Hidden's dead. They tried to gobble him up. Don't gobble him up in time, but the Requiem comes down. Aesthetic is popped.
And that's
a
what
bug down.
into his pocket.
However, no jungle is alive either side, so nobody's going to pick this Cloud Drake up quite yet. Voxney did take a fair amount of damage from that bullet time. Does have that Moonlight Vigil available to him, though. A lot of ultimates used on the side of Vipers. Nordavind only trading out 2 there. The bullet time and the Supreme Display of Talent.
And with Lundorf staying top lane, I think Nordavind can just take this dragon if they want to. It doesn't look like Viper's necessarily going to contest, but the pings are coming in. And the question's going to be, will they let Lundorf take that? No, he's TPing in. He's not going for the tower.
Yeah, they're going for the fight here. Trying to get himself some damage off. Lundorf teleported and onto that flank. Bebop tanking up some tower. Poulsen gets caught out inside the Death Realm. Lundorf jumps onto Chrisberg, trying to get the damage down. And oh my lord! The damage from the Moonlight Vigil is just disgusting as Weisel is getting cooked alive by Voxney. He's got the Gravitum, so he's got CC to work with. Now flicks back to the Infernum. Hidden's up. Aesthetics up. Cocoon lands, but that's going to be a good block out there for the moment as Lundorf looks to jump on the back line. Voxney gets hooked and taken out. Hidden takes out Niter, though. Nice and simple. Will cook him down with the E. And now Lundorf and Hidden, 1 versus 3, going to go in for the play. Cocoon goes wide, the claw comes down, and Hidden gets caught out, but he's just going to poke out the damage as Lundorf will tidy up the team fight. It's a double kill for Hidden. And Vipers, it was a long and extended team fight, but they do come out on top.
Yeah, it was super messy, but Lundorf and Hidden coming in clutch there at the end. Ultimately, no one gets the dragon, but a lot of kills traded. Unfortunately for the side of Nordavind, though, look at where all those kills have gone. It's 7-1 at least.
Oh,
that is not your scaling win condition. Yeah, definitely a little bit rough.
You actually couldn't think of a worst case scenario. Like, you got a 7-1 person is at least.
Advian, definitely on the thresh, having 7-1 would win. I mean, you saw him
get...
at
that point, you just get the static shiv and you get full crit.
He got the shutdown on Voxney as well, the extra 500 gold.
Oh,
or it might have been 500 gold in total, I think it was. But either way,
feeling right.
Not great targets to get that gold. I'm sure Chrisberg would have appreciated that one, but sometimes you don't get to choose. Right now, once again, vision control looking to be set up around Dragon. Nordavind pressuring in, but Lundorf thinks he's found Niter.
He does a fair amount. He's going to get the teleport out. Bit of grass gets thrown down here, and now Weisel looking for the claw onto Lundorf. Lundorf pops himself the Dominus.
That was early.
That was very early, but maybe it was what he needed to do to hold his life. Death Realm's coming up soon. The Requiem coming up soon as well here for Hidden.
Big cooldown to be unavailable,
constantly fighting over this Cloud Drake, and Hidden, he just gets caught out by the Supreme Display of Talent already. They throw out the Moonlight Vigil. Niter looks to jump in. Down comes the Requiem, and the damage to follow. Chrisberg zoned out of the fight before he can even get close. Advian has to use the stopwatch, and Weisel has got Lundorf inside his Death Realm, but Lundorf able to slice and dice and dodge away. Graviton will come out by them. Voxney and Nordavind do come out on top of the team fight. Hidden getting caught will cost them this dragon.
Yeah, that's enough to get the dragon, but it's such a long time has been spent on this one. Such a massive fight. Would have been hilarious if people stole it.
All literally gets settled by the support stealing it.
But ultimately,
we've had 2 team fights over that thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's been such a long, drawn-out scenario. Nordavind do get it in the end. They find the favorable team fight, but they're even in gold. They're slightly down, in fact, by about 700. Their dragon stacking time has been delayed massively because of how long that cloud was alive. Vipers still looking really good despite losing out in that team fight. They didn't lose that many members. And a comfortable spot, and Hidden approaching that Rabadon's. Level 13 achieved by Paulson, so he can hand out an item. Essentially, it's going to be whoever finishes it first. Does Voxney get the Infinity Edge or Hidden the Rabadon? So it looks like Voxney has finished it first, but whether he'll get the first upgrade is another question.
Lundorf does get CC'd here for a little bit, but dodges out on that Cocoon. Looks to turn it around, but Advian waiting in the wings. He smells something up and he steps away. Weisel now is doing a good job. Even though he's 0-3, he's constantly taking someone out of the team fight, someone crucial out of the team fight.
And his dueling potential is pretty high. Like, he can actually hold his own against Lundorf and Paulson right now. Maybe if Lundorf has his ult available and doesn't burn it before the fight, he can do a bit better. But you saw there he ulted Lundorf, and Lundorf was essentially just running around trying to dodge him. Molten Edge has come in for Devoxney. Extremely strong on this 2-item spike. You see Crispig has massively caught up though, thanks to the farm, so he's equal in item. Obviously down in 30 AD on the back of that Ornn upgrade. This is where things can start to get difficult.
Poulsen will be getting his death cap soon, so he'll be able to get his Rabadon's death crown.
You mean hidden?
You what?
Hidden will get the death
Hidden,
cap.
sorry.
If Poulsen builds a Rabadon's, then power to him, but I don't think that's optimal.
That's a statement.
That's not optimal Ornn building.
Hook comes out by Avian, doesn't find its mark. Then now, doing a lot of damage with the Molten Edge, with the Essence Reverse. Fetick sitting in a bush, setting up Hidden. If he gets caught again, could be completely game-shattering here for the side of Vipers.
That's just the thing. Nordavind have moved their side laners in to try and pressure this tower. Vipers just called their bluff. They didn't walk into the jungle. They let their side laners push. Lundorf gets a tower. They get a bigger gold lead. So play attempted by Nordavind, and it kind of backfired. And I think the problem is they really can't start up this Baron. The damage on it, it's not the biggest, but the big issue on top of that is they don't have anyone to tank it.
Yeah.
Anyone who sits in front of that Baron will take a huge amount of damage, especially since Wazor isn't really going to be able to be there to start it off, because obviously he's dealing with the side lane situation, applying pressure there. This puts things in a pretty rough situation overall. You see QSS come in for Lundorf and Bebop Bully, so both of those two able to counter the ultimate off Wazor. Tower getting low, and Rabadon's picked up for Hidden. Poulsen now level 14 as well. If he crosses paths with the Karthus, he can upgrade that one, give him a ton of damage. Right now they're looking for Lundorf though.
Yeah, Lundorf dodges away on that cocoon again. It's Fedit, you need to land those. Goes up with the repel. Not going to get locked down here. Lundorf doesn't want to overcommit. That Supreme Display talent in a small corridor makes his life real hard. Sten just escorts the wave up here for the moment. The pink is going down towards the top side here. It looks like they're trying to contest Lundorf, pushing up. It's got the QSS, got the Sterix, got the Cleaver.
This is not a good lane matchup for Niter to be in, especially since he doesn't have TP and Lundorf does, so if a situation where a fight starts, Lundorf can join, or if Niter tries to stop him from joining, potentially could commit into a fight that he does not lose.
There's the Death Crown.
Rabadon's
Next
upgraded.
upgrade is going to be that Obsidian Cleaver for Lundorf.
Yeah, I don't think P-Bobble doesn't look like he's building anything that's going to get upgraded. But to be honest, the support items, in terms of how much gold value you get from upgrading them, it's actually the worst. Redemption, a lot of the stats are like the health and mana regen, which...
Lundorf has to use the ulti, but he is going to go golden for the moment. Try and see if he can turn it around. Flashes in, gets the slice, gets the dice.
Wait,
the Requiem's coming down. Crispberg holds his life. That was close.
A little bit more damage. That could have been it. But it just wasn't. The Voxnake, they get 2 towers in the mid lane as a result of this. You can see Ping's coming in, potentially looking for a flank in this situation. But I don't think they're going to get it. They could, however, look for the dragon. Lundorf off the map for 25 seconds. There's an opportunity to contest this one. No Requiem as well. And the resets have come in. Crispberg full HP. Hidden's just trying to go for this one. This is really risky.
Wise is in the corner. He's looking to see if he can find one out. Poulsen pulled into the Death Realm now. That's going to be the Drake picked up. Hidden puts down the zone. Den has been caught out. He has to flash over the wall. Wiseor now. Call of the Forge God will come down and he gets chunked out. But Vipers, they don't want to risk it. They know they're at a numbers disadvantage. They step away.
Ends up 2 for 2 in Dragons. They lose mid tower for it, and they're going to lose a lot of control over the Baron area as Vipers were forced away. But ultimately, they get the Dragon. Both teams equal. Minimum 10 minutes away from a soul at this point.
It had now got that Oblivion Orb as well.
He already had the Oblivion Orb.
He did already have the Oblivion Orb. P-Pop is just going to deny the grab. Lundorf closing in on that level 16 mark as well, so full points into the Dominus.
But right now, I mean, Vipers, there's not that much pressure on you. Just don't let them do the Baron, and you're fine. You can see the Scry Orb came down just to check before the resets come in. They've kept Nordavind far away from the Soul. At this point in the game, Nordavind could have had the Soul in another scenario. So they've done a good job to mitigate that. They're strong. They're even in gold. They have these big item power spikes. You see Runan's now picked up for Denvoxne, so he's got the Trinity for Aphelios. Paulson's got both of his upgrade items and is going towards a Locket to provide extra shielding for his allies. Viper's just going to get stronger and stronger, and Nordavind, things are getting rough. You see that 7-1 Elise, and you think, what are you going to do? What are you actually going to do later in this game? When there's QSSs, there's cleanses, there's a Tom Kench.
Yeah, it's extremely hard. I mean, Tom Kench has a QSS. There's double cleanse available to Bebop here.
I believe Aesthetic was spotted out here walking over the ward, so they're going to look to pressure this bot lane with the jungler as well. But this just means Vipers can go super aggressive on the top side of the map. And this tower is not very influential. It's a little bit of gold, but it really does not change the state of this game at all by taking this out of tower. And it's given full control of the Baron area over to the Vipers. So if the fight starts here, they have the information. They can do it on their terms. Scrying or burn just to check that Vipers haven't already started it. But it means Nordavind have to fight back to get vision control in this situation. You can see them trying to push up. But it's so dangerous because the engage is on Paulson. If he wants to fight, he can very much dictate it on the back of that ultimate.
The wave clear now with that Hurricane available to Den and the Infernum just means that Chrisberg, he can't match it. He's not as fast. So easily push out, get mid prio, move in with your team for the side of Denvoxne and clear it out. You can see Nordavind, they're looking to try and spot people out, but resets are coming across the board here for Vipers. Den's just going to go back to base, get himself a stopwatch. It's going to be really, really nice for him if he does find himself getting caught out.
This could be the time where they look for a fight, actually. Jay picked up for Lundorf. They have the Leandris for the Madness passive. Not the Leandris, sorry. The Haunted Guys, the Madness passive for Hidden.
Yep, here we go. Call of the Forge God's going to get thrown down. Doesn't find anybody. Actually gets one on the back. Bebop gets pulled inside, and that's going to be the Gravitum Moonlight Vigil to slow and root people in place. But 2 ults burnt. Nothing gained there by the side of Vipers.
But the cooldown on the ultimate for Ornn at level 16 is so short. It's not actually that big of an issue. And Nordavind now got control of the Baron area in terms of vision, but still hesitant to start it up. Really dangerous to do so. You kind of need ways to tank it as well. And him hovering here means that on the other side of the map, Paulson can push in. They want to pull Paulson over, so they're just going to start this one up. Scrying Orb available. But it's Paulson who's on the other side of the map. He needs to TP up. They need to contest this.
He's got that Call of the Forge God coming up fairly soon, but Knight is sitting over the corner on the bush. Pulling them away. They're looking to get the damage onto Lundorf. Remember, he has that GA. Sterix gets popped. Looks to try and turn it around for aesthetic damage. Chrisberg gets himself a kill onto Bebop. Aesthetic's been zoned away for the moment. Denvoxne trying to pump that damage out, but he gets caught out by the bullet time. Doesn't have time to press that Zhonya's. Great ultimate comes out by Niter. He instantly gets knocked up, tries to jump away, and a shutdown! Oh my lord, Lundorf is coming in, the Requiem's going down, gonna do a fair amount of damage. Advian is gonna hold his life. Lundorf gets pulled back. In goes Paulson though, gets himself a knockoff on Chrisberg. Chrisberg is low, but he is able to make his way out, followed up by a Cocoon here as he flashes the wall. The Call of the Forge God could be enough to find the assassination off. Advian gets knocked up, but he won't die. Lundorf jumps onto the backline, gets traded out here, and Paulson is running away. Wazel will find him with one last swing of the hammer. Another team fight win over to the side of Nordavind. They're going to go for their second Cloud Drake.
And it was such a close one. So many little things defining that. Essentially, Denvoxne unable to be saved by Bebop Bully going down very early in the fight. And the front line of Vipers did so much work there, but without Denvoxne safe, without Bebop Bully there to offer him the protection, they just run out of steam. Nordavind come out ahead. They get that third dragon. They're now on Soul Point. But the Baron, they were too low to look for. The respawn timer is coming in too soon. It's a good fight for Nordavind, but he's definitely on a knife's edge. If they don't find Denvoxne in these team fights, he's just going to be able to put out so much damage. And you saw how close that one was, despite the fact Bebop Bully was instantly killed and Denvoxne was able to do very little.
Oh, Nordavind. They managed to turn this gold lead into their favor. They do have to worry, though. Vipers do outscale them.
QSS picked up for Denvoxne in case he does get ulted by the Mordekaiser.
But you can see there's a lot of defensive gold being spent here by Denvoxney. He's got the QSS, he's got the stopwatch. Chrisberg, on the other hand, he's just itemized full damage. So he's got 4 full items now at this point. Denvoxney had the lead in items and in gold. Den's only got 2 complete items. Obviously, having that Molten Edge is really big for him. And it is a bit of a kind of a lifesaver. But however, he is now down an entire item effectively.
But I still think you can put out so much damage as your Phelios if you're given space, and that's a critical thing. It was a great flank from Nitro in that situation to find the approach. You're struggling in this 1v1 matchup now. Mordekaiser definitely better in the split push than Renekton in the later stage of the game, especially as Lundorf, he's had to itemize the QSS to deal with the ult, the Guardian Angel to function in team fights. 1,000's a gold lead, it's not much. Soul available in 3 minutes. Nordavind can get it. Now Aesthetic's looking for Lundorf.
Yeah, big heal coming out. They get the cocoon. He has that QSS. He's trying to hold it, but has to burn it early. Tom Kench is coming in. He brings Denvoxney. Weisel pulls one inside. Denvoxney goes golden. He places the turret for the moment. Gonna get that damage down as Weisel goes golden. Lundorf able to jump away, and Den looks to run him down, but the shielding is huge. In comes the redemption. Den flashes away.
Oh!
It goes down, and it's a double kill for Denvoxney.
It was such a close one, but the QSS stopwatch from Denvoxney allowing Weisel to be exposed from the Death Realm, and then the Eat from Bebop Bully at the end, and the Requiem just to sign the gravestones. Clutch play coming out from the Vipers to find that one. Aesthetic, he's trying to punish these side laners. Doesn't quite work, but Naita, he's looking.
He is looking indeed. Lundorf looks to jump in forwards here. Doesn't have that flash, but the Call of the Forge God's going to come down. Paulson misses it. And now he looks to run Advian down. Has put the pillar up. Not going to be able to find himself a Searing charge off as the box gets used. Paulson looks to charge forward one more time. Throws it out. In comes a good old bullet time. A lot of damage comes out, but Chrisberg has burnt his ultimate. Looks like Vipers, they're going to start up the Baron. They've got 5 seconds till Aesthetic is alive. Lundorf healing up here. We'll be able to do that with the Q. Baron is going down very, very fast here for the moment. The teleports are coming down. This might be the moment Naita has to land a big, big supreme display of talent. Weisel jumping in forward, misses out on the claw, but that's going to be
still stacked.
He's just got himself a kill. Look at the damage. He's melting through people everywhere. That's going to be the flash forward by Bebop. Gets pulled back by the hammer, and a kill will be picked up in return. Naita still flanking away here, trying to dodge out, just trying to be a nuisance. A 3-man stun from the Terror shape there. So the Edge of Ishtar. Naita, he was a nuisance. He was enough to actually send them packing, and Vipers have to be careful. Their health bars are low.
Reset eventually comes out, but now Nordavind just starting up. Things coming out, they're aware of it.
There's a teleport coming out. Lundorf's looking to join in. Naita's trying to flank this time, but he's unable to do so. It's enough to stop the Baron for now. Chrisberg has got that bullet time. If Den gets caught here, he could just get melted. Hidden's trying to throw it down, but that's look at the damage, the double kill. Nordavind just melt through them. They are going to use the ulti. The Requiem does a fair amount to Chrisberg. Aesthetic dodges it with a repel, and now you've got the Tahm Kench Bebop. See if he can make his way in. They just look like they're going to give up the Baron. They can't fight it anymore, but actually,
that's Baron, and that's going to be Soul as well. Look at the death timers in comparison to the Dragon Spawn. Hidden spawns 3 seconds before the Soul does. Nordavind get everything. They shouldn't be winning these team fights in this situation, but they're just playing it so well. Chrisberg essentially untouched. This is someone who has struggled constantly throughout these weeks to find space in team fights to perform, and here he's just consistently making it for himself. Vipers, he should be winning this.
Chrisberg is full build at this point. Denvoxney, he's bought a BF sword since I last spoke about his items. The roles have switched here, and now Cloud Soul is spawning up here, and I don't think they're going to be able to make it in time. You can see the Bebop is just basing. He doesn't want to try it. He doesn't want to risk it. That's going to be the end of the Cloud Soul. 3 Cloud Dragons to Nordavind. That Supreme Display of Talent is going to be on such a short cooldown. 30% of its time are taken off.
And what I will say is Cloud Soul really does very little for Nordavind. It's great on the Mordekaiser. Everyone else, quite a bit less so. The passive movement speed, definitely won't complain about, but I'm talking more about the active when you use your ultimate. Ultimately won't complain, but it's not the big thing that's going to swing this. Right now, it's the gold lead for Nordavind and how they're playing these team fights. Oh, comes in.
Vigil tries to get him caught out for the moment. Chrisberg will take the Lantern as the Call of the Forge God goes wide. Tower will fall in the bot lane to Weisel here. Vipers use everything, and they can't find Chrisberg. He's got that space you were talking about.
And Advian on the Thresh, just clutch, providing him the peel, able to get out of difficult situations on this immobile carry. They're looking just to pressure with the Baron up minions. Right now, Vipers grouped up as 5 in the bot lane, potentially want to start a fight, but leaves their mid lane inhibitor tower exposed, and Chrisberg's just going to take that.
Yeah, Chrisberg cuts through that like it's absolutely nothing. Inhibitor has been laid bare. Denvoxney trying to put the damage down to clear out these waves, and he's able to do so for the moment, but Wazor continues to push up this bot wave. Vipers are being pulled back and forth and back and forth. They have no response here to anything Nordavind are doing. They've lost their inhibitor in the mid lane. They're going to lose their bot lane inhibitor turret and inhibitor shortly after. Vipers waiting on these cooldowns to come back. They've not got long until the Moonlight Vigil. They've not got long until the Call of the Forge God.
The Nordavind are walking away. They took both those inhibitors. That's what they wanted to do. Job is done. They can now reset. They can look towards pressure in top side. Honestly, the pressure isn't on them nearly as much anymore. They've taken a big part of Viper's base. They're going to be locked in. They potentially even wait for the next Baron to apply pressure from that and just keep Vipers locked in their base. Look at the goal differences. 2,000 between 80 carries, 4,000 between mid laners. Aesthetic level with Hidden, despite being down in farm thanks to all those kills he got. And yes, the scaling favors Vipers. In the late game, they come out ahead, but Nordavind are just outperforming them in these team fights.
All right, Hidden. Building towards that Morello Nomicon as his next item. Maybe building towards the Void Staff, I'm not sure. I'd actually like to see the Void Staff come through.
I think finish Void first, Morale last item. You could potentially go now because it's nice against the Misfortune, but really Void Staff is more important. There's a lot of MR on that Misfortune and on Niter with the Maw of Malmortius, so you want to be able to cut through that. Right now, Nordavind pushing up at the top side, applying that pressure. They have the minion waves pushing in mid and bot, thanks to the supers. Now they'll take this last out of tower. And the critical thing is, if they keep Vipers locked in their base for the next 2 minutes, that Baron becomes extremely difficult to contest. If all Vipers are doing is soaking these waves, very little you can do. And Hidden, he's so low on mana, he's going to have to go for the reset. They can just keep applying this pressure. 2 minutes on the Baron, 250 on the Elder. These could decide the game. These could end it in favor of Nordavind, but Vipers. Denvoxney got his Bloodthirster picked up. Just needs to finish off that Mercurial Scimitar to be full build. And a lot of items coming through across the board. They're still strong in the late stages of the game. Nordavind can't disrespect them because misplayed team fight completely turn around in their favor. And Denvoxney with the Runans, with the Inferno as well, he can just cut through these waves. I think they're handing off the gold
nice
there.
and quick here.
I think Hidden, they're trying to give him enough gold to get the Void Staff. Just essentially feeding waves over to him. He hits level 18 as well. 16's the big one for the Karthus, but...
Level 18's nice.
Yeah, I won't complain.
And we're at a point where almost everybody in this game is level 18, apart from the supports, but you know, that's how it is. Void Staff finally finished up for Hidden here. This is the big one. He's got the Rabadon's Death Crown, he's got the Liandry's, he's got the Death Cap, he's even got the bonus penetration from his Sork Boots and his Oblivion Orb.
This is like max damage Karthus at this point. You don't get much further than this other than picking up a Sorcery Pot and finishing off the morale, but it doesn't make a huge difference. This is really at the upper limit of how much you can do. But right now, the defensive items have been picked up by Nordavind to mitigate that to a degree. The 2 Maw of Malmortius mean you can't just press R and auto-win. Denvoxney is the catalyst. He's the critical point for Vipers. He needs to be a monster in these team fights if they're going to deliver. And really, I'm looking at Niter to threaten him, to be that backline assassin and make team fights hard for him to play. It's something that happened to Chrisberg consistently so far in the Nordic Championship, is him being unable to play team fight because of threat. Right now, they're looking and...
Supreme Display of Talent's already been used. Paulson's dead. Moonlight Vigil only collects onto Advian now. Bebop is retreating back towards the rest of his team. Lundor for the GA, Sterix, everything on him.
And they can just take the Baron right now. Can Vipers even... I'm not even sure they can contest in a 4v5. They don't have the Ornn.
Their jungle is bot lane. There's no way they can contest it. And they maybe want to give up Baron and fight for Elder.
But look at the timers. Paulson respawns after Elder does. And yes, it's not the quickest to kill because it's bulky, but even so...
They're going to reset here.
Head over and get control of the area.
Yeah.
Vipers are trying to get some vision down initially to contest this, but you've got to be careful. If another person gets picked, that's Elder, and Elder just means game, to be honest.
Elder plus Baron. If you lose with Elder plus Baron, I don't know what you're doing. They're crashing this wave here. Looks like we're out of supers now. These inhibitors will be respawning, so at least something has gone in the favor.
Paulson switched to the Ghost.
Taken the Ghost.
He
needs
down.
to get back to the map as quick as possible.
Oh, the flank,
on the flank,
Niter.
but so's Niter. The pincer is being pinned down, and Den is going to get caught. Instantly gets gobbled up by Bebop. They're trying to bail some time out. The health bar's already chunked down low. A massive pick by Niter. A massive flank by him has burnt everything from Den Voxney. The teleport's coming down. The Elder Dragon has been started up. Aesthetic has missed out, but that's going to be Bebop taking the cleanse for the moment. The Call of the Forge God followed up. The teleports are coming down, and the fight is on. Moonlight Vigil only connects onto one. Den, you got to keep your eyes on him. Wazor goes golden. Niter has no ultimate, but he's trying to do something. That's going to be the Crocodile going down, but the Resurrection should come up. Hidden gets caught out for the moment. He's forced Wazor out of the fight, and the Dragon's going to do some serious damage as Paulson looks to get caught out, but Niter jumps back into the back line. Den Voxney remains full HP. Chrisberg is down, and Den's got full health. He's got the Requiem. He's got the damage. It looks like this might just be a double kill picked up for Niter though. Wazor's on that flank. Den Voxney trying to put the damage onto Aesthetic, but he can't do so. It's 2 versus 3. The Cocoon goes wide. Wazor looks for the damage, but Den gets the kill. It's such a back and forth between both of these teams. Niter's going to have to base, and Den wants to start up the Elder Dragon, but Paulson, he's also basing here. Den's 1 versus 2. Paulson can come over the wall though. He has that blast cone. He looks to get caught out. He has to flash over. Den's still on the Dragon. Paulson steering charges away, and Den Voxney continues to try and take this objective. Aesthetic will take down another member. Paulson will fall. The Drake will reset, and the fight will dull down.
Oh, that was so crazy. Den Voxney just untouched for such a long time, dishing out all this damage, and you could see no one was willing to approach him. As soon as Chrisberg died, they realized they just could not deal with his Aphelios. He had the Bloodthirster shield as well, and the health bars were low.
Do you know what was mad about that? He burnt both his summoner spells before that fight. They wouldn't go near him when he didn't have heal or flash.
He's so strong in the late game, and this is the power. He's picked up the Mercurial Scimitar, which also resets the QSS cooldown critically, so it's available now. They're running over towards this Elder Dragon. Paulson's still down, but everyone up for Nordavind. Waizo running from the base. This should be a 45.
Hidden does not have R. This is pretty key here. Dragon's already very, very low. Hidden's miles away. They've just got this. Elder Dragon picked up for Nordavind. No contest from Vipers after a massive team fight for it. And this should just be game at this point.
Baron's still available for a little bit longer, but only on 2 members. Niter and Aesthetic have the Baron. That's the pushing power. If Vipers can survive till the Baron times out, actually, I think it might have
just
gone.
timed out.
Yeah,
now.
It's gone. So
that team fight was so long that it used up most of Baron.
The pushing power is not there. All Vipers have to do is not fight. They just need to clear the waves and not start a team fight, because Elder is so powerful. It almost just auto wins you it. So you just have to. That's it. Clear the waves, survive the Elder buff. Team fighting is really risky, but if they find a pick here, this could be huge.
Yeah, they're looking for something onto the Elise. They get the slow down. They're looking for the Moonlight Vigil. Using that repel, can they find the CC in time? Aesthetic is shut down, and Bebop finds himself the kill. That's 1 member without the Elder, but you still have to be careful. Chrisberg and Niter can cut you down so fast with that Elder.
But 4v5 is a risky one to take, even with that buff. Got to be cautious. The gold lead, 9,000 for Nordavind, means very little at this
Now they're
point.
looking for Waizo here. They're bringing 3 members in. Call of the Forge God, he's going to try and pull one out already. Bebop is going to try and just kite him away. Waizo doing his work. Den Voxney will cut him down nice and easy. Waizo falls. That's another Elder off the cards. Vipers are clinging on, kicking and screaming in this game. Niter is going to try and take this turret in the top side, but Hidden is there to clear it out.
And Nordavind, they try and go for the split pressure, and they get challenged on it. They find the picks, and the Elder buff, the one we talk about so much how powerful it is, wasted. Vipers survive. Baron in a minute 20. Now, I believe Chrisberg will still have the Elder for that.
We'll have to see. It's nothing but pots at this point. Everybody buying pots. Unless you're supports, because you're not allowed to buy a sick item. You have to buy wards. 48 minutes on the clock. 91,000 gold has been earned for Nordavind.
How is a team with an Elise still being this relevant?
Because he's 10-3, Orcs.
And he's got a Rabadons now. But ultimately, Vipers, the scaling, as we've said time and time again, in their favor. It comes down to execution at this point. Hidden gets chunked out by the double up, but then Voxney...
They're going for it. Call of the Forge God's going to get thrown down. Only catching Advian. Remember, low cooldown, like you said earlier, Orcs, so they're not really too fussed about burning that yet. They know they've got 20 seconds until that Dragon, that Baron, and it should be coming up roughly around that time.
Though, he's constantly looking at the flanks, the warning pings, the question marks are coming out. They're trying to look for him. He has this speed advantage.
Oh, does get spotted out.
From the Cloud Soul, but yep, spotted out, and that shield being unavailable. Big factor in these situations. If you're trying to counter him with hard CC from Lundor for Paulson. They're now looking for Paulson.
Ooh.
Just walks in a straight line. Just walks in a straight line and gets away from it. But
yeah,
now,
but actually, they're looking for something onto Lundorf. He doesn't have GA. Redemption's going to try and heal him up. He does catch onto it for the moment. Gets a lot of damage off. The GA spawns up in time. And now the boys are coming in.
The ultimate.
Paulson can try and jet that damage, but that's a big, big Requiem. Paulson charges forward, gets interrupted by the Flay in the middle of the box. Uses himself the gargoyles as everybody's coming down. That's a Moonlight Vigil from Den. Onto the backline. Gets himself a kill onto him. Weizor is in the middle of the team. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but Weizor's trying to turn it around. He does get picked up. Can't answer back, and Aesthetic will fall. Vipers find the team fight once again.
And I think they're just looking to go for the end. They're not looking towards the Baron. It's only 2 members. Then Voxney. Crispig's looking.
Oh, no! Here comes the Call of the Forge God. Den trying to chase it. Crispberg gets a lantern away. Lundorf comes in and Den takes out Crispberg. Advian is being run through. Teleport's coming into that bot lane there. You can see this is the moment for Vipers to turn the game in their favor. They've still got a lot of turrets to cut through in time. 31 seconds until Niter is alive, and Den will absolutely liquefy these turrets with the help of his team. They're jumping up. They've got people to tank it for the moment. The turret is going to slowly crumble here to Vipers. 19 seconds until Niter is alive. Nordavind need a miracle to save this game. The health bars are low. That's their one saving grace. But then Voxney, he makes these turrets just disappear. Somehow Vipers in a 51-minute slugfest take the game versus Nordavind.
And Nordavind, by all means, they did their best to hold on, despite the fact that their composition really struggled to function that late. Crispberg, so powerful on this misfortune for such a long time, but eventually the scaling was too much. And the thing I got to praise the most is those picks they found after the Elder. The Elder is such a powerful tool. It can just auto-win team fights with how useful it is, and not just the true damage burn, but the execute. And they found those picks, they bought themselves time, and then that fight around the Baron, you could definitely see the scaling had started to come out, because the power in the Cart Assault, just chunking everyone down, Aphelios, the range on the Moonlight Vigil. Ultimately, it was such a long-fought fight, but Vipers managed to hold down. I think the big thing to praise here, obviously, is the picks they found on Elder, but their early to mid-game. The fact that they made Nordavind have to fight this one in the late game was what eventually gave them this victory. And it's because they managed to play a solid early game. They managed to mitigate Nordavind's advantages. And so when it did come to these later stages, Nordavind wouldn't even want to be playing this. They wanted to have the game shut and done by 25, 30 minutes, and they got stuck in a 51-minute slugfest where they did everything they could to keep themselves in it, but ultimately just wasn't enough.
But you do have to look at what this game was. It was our second seed versus a team at the bottom. A bottom team.
On paper.
Obviously, on paper, Nordavind looked like one of the strongest teams here, but I'm going just off performance so far in the Nordic Championship. Vipers have been a better team.
But I'm going off form. And I think in their current form, Nordavind look a lot better.
Yes, 100%.
I do think that the draft, it had the same issues where you're putting Nitro and Aesthetic on picks where you need to come out ahead early. And I picture that same game again, but you put Aesthetic on a jungler who's relevant in the later stages. You put Nitro on something where it's not just, oh, we're trying to assassinate them, but they have, you know, massive shields from the Severum and the Bloodthirster, and they have QSS, and they have the Tom
Locket
Kench
as well.
You know, picture the draft they had last week when they had Weizor on Gangplank, they had Jarvan, they had Ryze in the mid lane. That is a game Nordavind just win. And I think my concern for Nordavind is they're drafting these early pasture champions, and then when they miss the mark, they played so well in the later stages, but they're handicapped. They're handicapped from the fact that a lot of these champions just fall off extremely hard, And I feel like the early game isn't crisp enough. I think that's my big thing to take away. There are teams who can do this. There are teams who can draft like this and crush. But I think Aesthetic and Nita aren't crisp enough in the early game. Give them champions that function later. Because Aesthetic, he had a monster game. It just took a while.
Yeah.
And I think Nitra as well was finding some great flanks, but he wasn't getting going in the early stages. And I think especially up against an Ornn, it's hard to do. But I think you give them picks where they have more agency later on. And Nordavind, considering how long they held on to that game, they look like one of the stronger lane game teams in the tournament. They just never really have an opportunity to get there.
Yeah, well, with that, we are going to cut to a quick break as I need to catch my breath. We'll be back with game 4 of the day. It's going to be Dusty versus Team Singularity. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a second.